the spark that lit the fire. The message came without ceremony. A flicker in Earth's deep space sensors. A transmission, encoded in the galactic standard, was broadcast from the core systems of the galactic empire. Earth, your defiance ends now. Submit or perish. The Emperor has spoken. Humanity had expected this moment. For years, Earth resisted integration into the Empire's hierarchy, refusing to kneel to a ruler who demanded unconditional obedience and annual tribute in resources, soldiers, and culture. Earth's delegates had argued for autonomy, for peace, for coexistence. The Emperor gave them war. They struck before sunrise. Massive orbital platforms materialized in Earth's low orbit, hidden by stealth drives and void-folding engines. They opened fire within seconds. Cities, New York, Shanghai, Mumbai, Lagos, reduced to ash in moments. 10 million dead in the first hour. Airspace collapsed. Satellites blinded. Humanity's global infrastructure lay in burning ruins. But they didn't count on one thing. Humanity had prepared for this. In a bunker buried beneath the Andes, the Unified Earth Council convened. Generals, engineers, presidents, and war theorists gathered under red alert. Most had trained for this day. A few had feared it. One woman, General Thora Malik, rose from her seat and uttered the words that would ignite the galaxy. Activate Protocol Genocide. The room went silent. Everyone knew what that meant. Earth's last resort doctrine wasn't designed to win territory or sue for peace. It wasn't about survival. It was about making sure no one would ever try this again. From Mars to Titan, buried vaults opened. AI war cores hummed to life. Biological war forms, locked away since the Martian conflict, were unsealed. Earth's black site orbital fleet, the Silent Armada, was given a single command: erase them. Back on Earth, amidst the ruins, President Alice Munro addressed the world in a live broadcast. Her voice was hoarse, her expression carved from grief and steel. We did not ask for war. We asked for peace. They gave us fire. Now, we answer in kind. We will not fight for surrender. We will not fight for peace. We fight for justice, for vengeance, for the millions they burned. And we will not stop until the stars remember what happens when you try to kill humanity. In that moment, Earth changed. This was no longer a war of resistance. It was retribution. Every soldier understood. Every pilot. Every engineer. From children huddled in underground shelters to the synthetic minds awakened from deep sleep, humanity was no longer defending itself. It was avenging itself. And the Emperor, in his golden palace light years away, sipping rare nectar from conquered worlds, had no idea that he hadn't started a war. He had triggered a genocide. Humanity unleashed. The first Imperial fleet met Earth's response near Proxima Centauri. 30 dreadnoughts, sleek and radiant with Imperial insignia, arrived to crush the barbaric resistance. They expected a scattered defense, maybe a token counterattack. What they got was silence, followed by annihilation. The Silent Armada, Earth's off-grid war fleet, emerged from the black. Its ships were ugly, angular, and designed with one purpose: absolute destruction. No declarations, no warnings. Within 13 minutes, all 30 Imperial ships were reduced to drifting slag. The humans didn't even stop to salvage the wreckage. They moved on. Across the stars, Earth's retribution spread like wildfire. Special operations teams, trained in deep space sabotage and infiltration, slipped through Imperial defenses. They didn't fight fair. They didn't fight clean. They poisoned atmospheric processes, rigged reactor cores to overload, corrupted planetary AI to turn against their masters. On 27 worlds, rebellion broke out overnight, not because of speeches, but because humans weaponized hope and terror in equal measure. Meanwhile, Project Erebus, a classified Earth initiative buried beneath the lunar crust, launched a new breed of weapon: autonomous nanoplague swarms. These weren't simple machines. They were evolving horrors, designed to devour infrastructure, melt armor, and consume biomass. They turned entire garrisons into gray dust storms that howled across the wind. The Empire began to panic. Humanity, once dismissed as a primitive border species, was unleashing devastation that rivaled ancient galactic wars. Worse, they weren't claiming territory. They left every world they touched empty. Sterile. Silent. Back in Imperial Command, High Lords argued about how to respond. Some demanded peace talks. Others insisted on doubling the attack. The Emperor's response was final. Mercy is for the weak. They will submit or vanish. Humanity heard those words, and they answered. On the fortress world of Kyreth Prime, a central hub for Imperial logistics, a single human ship emerged from slip space. It deployed a Red Echo, a sonic weapon that scrambled senses and communications across the entire hemisphere. Then, without a word, it fired a graviton lance directly into the planet's core. Kyreth Prime imploded. The explosion was visible from orbit. Across the galaxy, Imperial citizens began to whisper a new name for humanity: the Erasers. Not conquerors, not rebels, executioners. Captured survivors spoke of humans who didn't speak, who wore black visors and moved like wraiths, who marked cities with strange red symbols that no translator could decipher, until one linguist decoded them. It was a warning. This world burned Earth. Now it burns too. The Emperor's War had turned into something else entirely, and humanity had only just begun. The collapse of an empire. In just 4 standard months, the Galactic Empire lost nearly 1/3 of its core systems. Entire sectors went dark. Trade lanes evaporated. Military command chains snapped under the weight of chaos. For every Imperial fleet dispatched, Earth's forces answered with precision strikes and planet-breaking weapons. But it wasn't just the destruction. It was the message. Humanity had no interest in occupation. They didn't claim planets or set up puppet governments. They erased infrastructure, sterilized biospheres, and departed without a word. Imperial citizens were left alive only if they hadn't participated in the assault on Earth. And even then, their survival was treated as a mercy, not a right. Panic rippled across the Empire. Desertion rates skyrocketed. Outposts went silent. Entire planetary governors began refusing to carry out orders, terrified they'd be mocked next. On the industrial world of Vaughn, a rebellion broke out, not led by humans, but by Imperial civilians begging the Terrans to come faster and finish what they'd started. Humanity wasn't fighting for peace or control. They were fighting for memory, and they wanted the galaxy to never forget. The Emperor, furious and humiliated, doubled down. He ordered the execution of any general who lost a system. He declared martial law across the Central Worlds. He even approved the use of forbidden weapons, planetary disruptors, and entropy bombs once banned by galactic treaty. But nothing worked. Humanity adapted. Their AI command units hijacked enemy satellites mid-battle. Their sleeper agents activated rebellions in places the Empire thought impenetrable. Earth's fleet didn't fight for honor or glory. They fought with surgical hatred. On the once mighty world of Cinder V, a monument world to Imperial victories, Earth dropped a singularity charge into the crust. The planet collapsed in on itself, its core sucked into a gravity well. Billions died in silence. The galaxy watched in horror. And slowly, the fear of the Emperor began to lose ground to a new fear, the Terran kind. In desperation, the Emperor called for an armistice. He broadcast a sector-wide transmission, offering a ceasefire and reparations. "Let us speak," he said. "Let us restore order." Earth responded by vaporizing the ship carrying his ambassador mid-transmission. Not with a weapon, but with a gravitational distortion pulse that froze time in a single spatial pocket, trapping the vessel in an eternal moment of collapse. Then they sent their own message. Just 3 words. "You will kneel." But humanity didn't want surrender. They didn't want negotiation. They wanted the Empire to suffer, system by system, breath by breath, until no stars remained loyal to the crown. The Empire, once the most feared force in the galaxy, was crumbling. And above the ruins, Earth's war banners spread, black and silent. Not of conquest, but of judgment. The silence that follows. The Emperor died screaming. Not on the battlefield, but in the throne room of his palace on Helion Prime, surrounded by the remnants of his court. His once loyal bodyguards had turned on him, terrified not of treason, but of being left alive when the Terrans arrived. They dragged his broken body to the steps of the palace. When Earth's strike team landed, they found no resistance, only silence, and the corpse of the most powerful man in the galaxy. They didn't celebrate. They incinerated the body and reduced the palace to molten glass. There was no joy in what they'd done, no pride. Earth soldiers had long stopped feeling triumph. Their vengeance had become ritual, an execution delivered not with anger, but with chilling resolve. The last command was simple: deactivate Genocide protocol. Across the stars, human fleets powered down weapons. The AI dreadnoughts of the Silent Armada entered hibernation. Orbital bombardments ceased. The nanite swarms curled into dormant clusters. The war was over, but the galaxy was changed forever. The Empire was gone, its fleet shattered, its capital world sterilized. Dozens of species who had lived under Imperial rule now stood in the smoking ruins of their civilization. No new order rose to replace it. Earth didn't seize power. It didn't establish dominion. It simply left. The Unified Earth Council issued a single, final broadcast. It echoed through every comm channel, translated into every known language. Earth asked for peace. The Empire gave us death. We returned it, amplified. Let this be the only warning history ever needs. Touch humanity, and you will not be conquered. You will be erased. Then the transmission ended, and Earth fell silent. The fleets returned home. The AI were locked away once more. The weapons were sealed beneath barren moons and sunless asteroids. Earth's skies, still scarred from the first attack, began to clear. Back on the surface, humanity mourned, not just the dead, but what they'd become. Cities were rebuilt, but names were never forgotten. Memorials lined cratered highways. No child born after the war ever grew up without knowing what price had been paid for survival. Across the galaxy, civilizations whispered Earth's name with reverence and fear. Maps were redrawn to leave the Sol system blank, unlabeled, unrevealed. No empire, no ambassadors, no trade, only memory, only silence. And every being who studied history would eventually find the same headline buried deep in the archives. The Emperor declared war. Earth declared genocide. And they would understand why no one, ever again, dared to challenge the Death Walders.